Hello friends and welcome again. This is Dr. Mittens, now being joined by my good friend Zugz. Zugz, welcome.
Hello Dr. M, good to be here.
Lovely to see you. It's Fnatic taking on Na'Vi. I believe this is D2L, a best of 3. You ready to go?
I am ready.
Alright, starting in 5 minutes in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So we have Fnatic starting off the draft. They've picked up Lich. Personally, I think the best hero in the game, but we'll see if they can use it to its fullest advantage. And Clockwork. Meanwhile, Na'Vi has picked up Lifestealer and Timbersaw. The bans so far for Na'Vi have been Prophet, Naga Siren. That's Nature's Prophet. I suppose that's no longer given with the way Death Prophet's gone back. Nature's Prophet, Naga Siren, Venomancer, Fnatic taking out Visage, Bounty Hunter, and Puck. Zugz. Any early thoughts on the draft?
The thing that most stands out to me, looking at this draft, is the complete lack of Elder Titan anywhere. One of the other heroes generally considered one of the very best in the game, and it's nowhere to be seen right now.
Yeah, I know you're
more sort of targeted bans at the individual teams we're seeing.
Yeah, I know you're a massive Elder Titan fan, and still making it through the second ban stage as Pugna and Devourer are banned. A little bit unsure about Outworld Devourer. Perhaps they're going for a greedier mid-pick, someone that wouldn't fare well against VOD, and have decided that this is the best course of action to take. Is that a reasonable thing to assume?
It's a hero that no one really wants to have to play against or deal with. It's a nice thing to ban out when you just don't want to have to pick a specific mid hero, but yeah, you're right. They may have something in mind which would be especially countered by OD.
Yeah. Fnatic, very impressive recently. Recently took Alliance to the edge in best of 3. Did get beaten by them earlier in the day. Went 4-1 over the day, but I thought they were really impressive in their D2L performance. And excuse me. Let's hope they can put up another good showing against Na'Vi. I know the Dota 2 lounge odds were at 68% for Na'Vi, which I think was a fair reflection of the quality of these two teams at the moment. Na'Vi, undoubtedly the team of Dota 2, but perhaps not quite the team of just this moment. Fnatic running hot is in 6.79. Now waiting on Fnatic's third pick. There's still so much of the draft to go, it's going to be difficult to predict exactly what's happening. They will now take the Weaver. Pretty standard counter against the Lifestealer. Weaver's using Shikuchi, able to kite the Lifestealer around a lot, mitigate the effect of open wounds to a large extent. What might you expect from Na'Vi coming up?
Well, Na'Vi are certainly lacking supports, and they probably also want a mid for Dendi, but I expect them to possibly delay that mid choice for a bit. It could be Timbersaw, but I think probably Dendi's hero is still to come. I expect them to pick up a support here. There are a few good supports missing, but there are still a few nice heroes. They may choose to pick up something like a Shadow Demon or a Crystal Maiden. There are a few options here. Crystal Maiden might be quite a good choice here, I'd say.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden I think works really nicely with Lifestealer and Timbersaw, who have mana issues naturally in the early game, and Crystal Maiden's been seeing so much play. I believe the most played support in the latest patch, and I enjoy the hero. I think it's fun and effective. The Midas craze notwithstanding, interesting hero. But instead, they will go for Puppy's Chen, and I think the Chen has seen significant fall off in play. The jungle being nerfed does affect Chen in a pretty obvious and significant fashion, but Puppy continuing to play it, possibly the best known and most proficient Chen in the world.
Yeah, it's probably a two-horse race between Puppy and Ake.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you can play Chen that well, even when it's a bit nerfed, it's still worth picking up. So we have Na'Vi's almost signature jungle hero. They really love to run those junglers.
I think. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just a little curious how they're going to lane this. It's not obviously going to end up with good lanes. Lich makes it hard to lane against. They could they could end up struggling a bit if Fnatic pick a really aggressive early game lineup.
Yeah. Interesting to see that Na'Vi have picked 3 heroes that were hit with the nerf stick pretty hard. Not so much for Timbersaw with the chakra mana increase, I believe, but Lifestealer, with the armlet nerf as well as the nerfs being put on him personally as a hero, really damaging to play. It's so noticeable as a hero. And speaking of, there's a Wisp pickup by Fnatic. I've seen this like once since the new patch came out, and I'm pretty sure that was Mouse getting destroyed. It's just completely, it's fallen off the face of the earth. The Tether stun is a stun no longer, and they haven't got anything that obviously makes a strong combination with it. So do you think that's going to make it some kind of dual lane system then in that case? Because you're going to want to put Wisp with someone, and Lich isn't a great tri lane. I feel like this Wisp tends to lead towards some kind of dual lane situation as Na'Vi pick up line.
I think that's very possible. We may see Fnatic's semi-signature Wisp Morphling in mid.
Yeah.
It could just be something like Chaos Knight or one of more traditional combinations. I know Fnatic have been running Tiny a bit recently, so that's another possibility. But I think their last pick will probably be something to combo more obviously with this Wisp.
Yeah. I would be slightly surprised to see a Tiny come out. I don't think it is that great against Lifestealer or Timbersaw, but it's okay, I guess. I don't know. I feel like Morphling would be a really solid pick here. Although, recently, I think it was DK picked Lion to combat against Miracle's Morphling, and the mana drain ruined Morphling's ability to switch in and out of agility and strength, and was actually a really effective pick. So, as much as Lion is a good hero in its own right on its own, I think it really thwarts any plans Fnatic might have had to get Morphling, or at least, dissuades them from picking it as quickly as they might have.
Yeah, it's not clear. Obviously, Na'Vi or Puppy not agreeing with me because he's banned out the Invoker. He thinks that Hanny's hero is still to come, whereas I thought possibly Hanny would pick up either Clockwork or Weaver.
Queen of Pain. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, both of those are definitely tricksy heroes, so he has a choice of heroes that he likes to play.
He will pick up that Tiny. And that's something.
Yeah, Tiny is not that bad against Lifestealer because Craggy Exterior is really annoying to deal with.
It really is.
But this is definitely, the Wisp Tiny thing is something that just really isn't seen anymore except from Fnatic. They have one team who still believes in Wisp. Well, the one top team that still believes in Wisp picks it quite regularly. Had some success in Korea with the Nexon show matches against Liquid.
I'm really surprised I saw the Queen of Pain ban coming out of Fnatic. I would have thought that Storm Spirit would be a really obvious ban here. Storm Spirit, well, look at that. Oh, nice.
Storm Spirit has arrived. I think possibly the reason they weren't so afraid of that is not a strong laner, and if they're planning on a dual lane mid, they could expect a Storm Spirit to get really badly shut down. That could be their plan here.
So you're saying something along the lines of Lich Clockwork mid with an off-lane Weaver and safe lane Wisp Tiny?
It could be the other way around. It could be Lich Weaver in mid and Clockwork off lane.
Yeah,
I probably will see Wisp Tiny in the safe lane, but even that combination could go mid if that's how they want to do it. They could do a Lich Clockwork bottom. There are a few options here for Fnatic. I think we will see dual lanes. We will see the Wisp and Tiny sticking together. But they have options, and it's not so easy for Na'Vi to predict where the lanes will be.
Yeah, and that could make it a fairly difficult start for Puppy. With the way aggressive tri-lanes have gained popularity as defensive tri-lanes have lost popularity and play, Chens have, from what I've seen, sort of struggled to decide which jungle to get to. Aggressive tri-lanes, defensive tri-lanes, offensive jungling, it's a decision that's having to be made, and not necessarily the easiest one, from what I've seen. Just get a time check with you, Zugz. What's your clock at?
My replay timer is currently at 14:32.
Okay, could you hold up for a second? My game clock is just about 103 to 1. Are we synced up?
No, hang on. I'm at 55 seconds. Tell me when you
Now.
reach that. Okay.
4, 3, 2, 1. Yep. Okay, lovely.
Yep. I think that's good.
Alright, let's run through the teams. Na'Vi, they've grouped up as 5, so I might have to cut this off short, but we've got Puppy playing his signature Chen, Havost on Lifestealer, one of his best 1 or 2 heroes, Dendi on his Storm Spirit, one of his best 30 or 40 heroes, Kuroki on the Lion, and Fnatic taking the Timbersaw.
Yep, and on the side of Fnatic, we have Fly on Lich, No Tail on Bio or Wisp, got Era on Tiny. We have Hanny, also known as Litup, on the Weaver, and Trixie on Clockwork.
Okay. And it looks like they're running a Lich Clockwork offlane with Tiny mid and a Weaver safe lane. Rune's gonna spawn bottom, that's an Invis rune for Trixie. And perhaps a Timbersaw safe solo, Chen safe jungle, Storm Spirit mid with a Lifestealer Lion offlane. So it's a brave new world of laning in this scary, terrifying, slightly different to what I'm used to 6.09.
Yep, I think Navi's lanes were pretty obvious, although now that I said that, I've immediately been proved wrong because Timbersaw has gone solo bottom to match up against Clockwork, and we've got Lifestealer Lion in the offlane.
Yep.
So, they've definitely mixed it up. I wasn't expecting that. I don't imagine that Fnatic were either, but I think it does put the lanes much more in their favour.
In Fnatic's favour?
No, in Navi's favour. I think they've done a good job of predicting the Fnatic lanes and mixing it up, showing them something they might not have been expecting, and Lifesteal's getting farm. We've got a favourable matchup for Timbersaw here, the bottom lane. I think Navi have successfully done a little musical lanes, and it's looking good for them.
Yeah. When the drafting stops, you gotta find your lane, and looks like Fnatic have been caught out just a little bit. Kuroki trying to zone out Honey on the Weaver. A little bit of aggression going here. They're going pretty hard at it. Fly rotating in. Puppy chasing him. Shikuchi through. Kuroki's in deep trouble. He's going to give up first blood here. Sticks down the Earth Spike, and Fly is going to die as well. And he's going to die first, and that's the first blood money. Going to Puppy. How often do you see it on this guy? He's too good.
Yeah, he's probably the best Chen. You know, he's always active. You don't see him sit back and farm like an owie Chen. You see him active, level 1, making plays, winning the other lanes for his team. And he's doing it again. Gets the first blood, and yeah, I think Navi are very happy with how this game has started off.
Yeah. In saying that though, we see that Hani has been able to get a really early level 4. Havost, meanwhile, is halfway through level 3, even as the creep wave pushes into the tower. And that's the Lich effect. He is doing so much work. And Dendi, he's doing pretty well in the mid lane, to be honest. I'm surprised he's getting this much out of it. No-Tail, who's picked up his early bottle, he's going to be able to give Era all the mana, all the health he needs. And make it really aggressive. And they're going to go on him now. Avalanche, toss, Dendi's in deep, deep trouble, and he's going to take a spill. And No-Tail, he's going to bottle up, and they'll be just fine. Meanwhile, at top, at bottom, that is. It looks like Clockwork. Trixie managing to cock himself inside power range, and that was the end of him. Fnatic, somehow, managing to get a solo kill. How did that happen?
Probably shouldn't happen. Trixie is known as a very aggressive player. Sometimes it can backfire. Might have been going for a kill bearer on Fnatic, because Fnatic was quite low at the end. And here he goes again. Not deterred, he's going straight back in.
Yep. Fnatic doesn't have any mana, doesn't have any timber chains, got plenty of stacks and reactive armor, and Trixie is dying. He's dying really hard. He needs a couple more tower shots to die. He's probably going to live, and yep, Fnatic's giving up the chase. But after just storming back into that lane on a half health Fnatic is still half health, and Clockwork's losing regen while on 200 health.
Yeah, Trixie, I think just underestimating the survivability of the Timber Sword. He's really hard to kill, and Trixie doesn't have the levels for it. He's also completely skipped Rocket on that Clockwork, which is interesting. He's got 2 levels in Cogs. Not what you'd typically see out of Clockworks, but I think he wants that extra mana drain to try and keep Fnatic completely out of mana for the entirety of the lane.
A little skirmish around the top rune spawn point, but the regen does form bottom, and Whisper's going to be able to pick that up. Era chucking out an avalanche just to do some damage. Yeah, it was unfortunate for Fly. He came in, had his smoke popped. I think he was looking to pick up that Storm Spirit. Now Wisp and Tiny. There could be an... really? Really, Trixie? Alright. Fnatic managing to pick him up again, and that aggression you talked about, clearly not serving him well in this instance. Avalanche being thrown onto Dendy. Dendy's trying to run away. Puppy on the Chen, sending him the Centaur and tanking up those Wisp Orbs. Now the toss! He's sending in Fnatic, No-Tail. He has no regard for his life, and No-Tail's gonna fall. That's Puppy getting some more gold and experience. And I think in the end, still a profitable trade for Fnatic, but I don't feel like they're dominating this dual lane mid as hard as they should be.
No, they're not really. Dendy has managed to get 15 last hits out of it. He has died twice, but I don't think he'll be too upset, and he's level 5.5, so very soon he'll be level 6, which will make him reasonably safe. Fnatic really quite lacking in lockdown for that Storm Spirit. Yep. Wisp now has no lockdown, Lich has no real lockdown, Weaver, and even Clockwork, everything that Clockwork has can simply be sort of zipped out of by the ball lightning, so...
A zip zop Courier heading top. That's bringing a Wraith Fan to Honey. That'll just help him out with his last hitty. And he has finished up his Ring of the Killer. Looks like a tri-lane mid just at the moment. Poppy as well as Kuroki, but now Era going to engage straight on into it. Didn't have vision on the high ground. Era's in deep trouble. He's going to fall to Dendy. Dendy picks up Ball Lightning. He's zipping in. He found No-Tail. He's going to try and drag him in, but he doesn't have a mana for it. Fnatic, No-Tail trying to run away desperately. One more last hit, and it looks like Chen. Poppy managing to get it. Now Kuroki in a little bit of trouble, taking some harassment out of Fly. Misses on his Impale, and now Lich Fly picking up the counter kill as Dendy picks up a haste rune, and he'll regenerate some of his health.
Wow. Kuroki with a really uncharacteristic miss on the Impale there. That's not the same as the Nyx stun. You can just hero target that spell.
Yep.
Trying to get a little fancy, I guess, and paying for it with his life.
I assume he had high ground vision. Dendy needs to be careful here. He has a haste rune, but not a heck of a lot of mana, and he can still be slowed by the tether. Phonic's just huge. Look at how he's level 8. He's got 1,000 gold on top of his boots, bottle, and stout shield. He's doing so well for himself in what should have been, I would think, an essentially even lane, at least until level 6 for the Clockwork.
It's a tough lane for Clockwork, I would say. I don't think you could call it even, but at the same time, Phonic's got more out of it than he really ought to have. Trixie just too aggressive, getting solo killed twice, and we've basically ended up with some very weird lanes where we got something resembling a tri-lane in mid and 2 solo lanes in the top and bottom. It's very 6.79 this laning. It's kind of fun to watch.
Poppy's got a smoke. He spots the courier out. That's going to be a courier kill. He's going to find it. He's going to kill it dead. Here it comes. Break the smoke. Oh, no! It's on 3 health! The courier's made it! The little zebra thing, and now Havost engaging onto Honey. Honey pops his Medallion of Courage. They have a ward down. They should be able to see him. He doesn't have mana available for time lapse, but he is going to be able to Shikuchi away. And Poppy didn't manage to get the courier. Meanwhile, Trixie trying to line up a hookshot, but he's got Chencrease right in his way, and they know exactly where Trixie is, or at least they seem to. Maybe Poppy's just got a 6th sense about these things. Kuroki, standing around the top rune spawn, doesn't want to get hit by those Wisp Orbs and reveal his presence. Meanwhile, Clockwork, I hear the cogs go, and it looks like he'll be fine. Chen, Poppy, could be in a little bit of trouble here. And he will be. Weaver's engaging onto him now. Medallion of Courage popped off by Honey, but looks like he's going after Havost. That's where the medallion goes. Now diving deep onto Poppy, and he's going to be able to pick up that kill. Has time lapse available to him. decides not to use it and wants to keep on diving. Meanwhile, Kuroki could be in trouble again. He's caught himself on the wrong side of the river, gets hooked up by Trixie. That's going to be the end of Kuroki. Avalanche from Era, ensuring that kill.
Yeah, another slightly questionable play from Kuroki there, I would say. Obviously trying to help his team by running up a river, but he knew there was a clockwork there, and he's really putting himself terribly in harm's way by doing that. And again, he's paid for it. I think Kuroki not having the greatest game of his life.
Honey's really being aggressive with this medallion, showing no fear, knows he has Vishikuchi to get out of any danger he might find himself in, and trying to harass Havost down as badly as he can. And Havost has picked up a Helm of Iron Will. Trixie TPing in to try and get a counter kill after Fly takes a fall on the Lich. Dendi was in to help him out there.
Yeah, Fnatic is an absolute force in this lane here, and everyone who comes by for Na'Vi is just ending up dead. So, sorry, for Fnatic. Fnatic players just can't handle the lane with Fnatic. He's a great player, he's on a great hero, and I think they're really going to struggle to deal with him because
he's ruining Pool.
The same issues that Storm.
I'm sorry, but going on to Honey, he's got time left available to him. He will get away on about 20 health, gets up to 500. Now Kuroki's in deep trouble. Havost trying to run away. Hand of God will be popped off. Kuroki gonna die to this Wisp, and he will do so to the auto attacks. Wisps, big auto attacks, and that's right, I can't say whips. Meanwhile,
Wisp, as he relocates back in, Poppy was there waiting and got him down to 20 health, but didn't kill him, and now No Tail makes the right decision, doesn't go for that regen rune, because Fnatic was there.
You don't want none of that.
That was a really nice reaction there, showing the power that Wisp still has. Able to come in and turn that gank around really heavily. A very good fight for Fnatic. And
want to keep an eye on top. Honey's got dragged in. Dendi's in there, the big chain frost. Dendi trying to zip out of there, doesn't have much mana left. Honey chasing him down, puts out a defensive remnant, and he'll be okay. Meanwhile, Honey Kuchi's away as Timeline comes off cooldown again. No Tail healing him up with the power of the fountain as well as the bottle, and Honey is right back to full. Havost has transferred himself right down to the bottom lane, trying to get himself some farm, and I'll move to the net worth chart at this stage. You see Era on Tiny. Yeah, it is Era on Tiny. Don't doubt me. I know my stuff. Era on Tiny is topping that net worth chart, but not by a huge amount. We see Fnatic getting huge, as well as the now safe lane for Vogue. But Era's going to get dove on now, gets hexed up. That didn't work well with the electric vortex. They didn't chain that nicely. No Tail links himself in, gets himself in all sorts of danger, and Trixie wants a piece as well. Kuroki trying to get out of dodge. He's on low health as well. Zips off Zap, hits him with a finger of death, and that's all she wrote. Na'Vi pick up a 3-0.
That finger of death was something a bit interesting. Era getting caught out, and two players from Fnatic basically going in after him, trying to bail him out, and everyone ends up dying.
Yeah,
the counter gank at top with Wisp is now sort of negated by that really, really bad fight for Fnatic. I think in hindsight they probably would have preferred to ditch Era there, but instead they lose free, and Na'Vi are looking strong because I think Fnatic were relying on the early game to get an advantage, because Storm plus Timbersword both going to be very hard to deal with, and that's not even counting the hard carry lifestealer. I think Fnatic possibly in difficulties here.
Yeah. And you can see perhaps they recognize that. They've got a smoke up on No Tail as well as Era. Pretty sure you can see the link between the two of them, but whatever. Trixie has smoked himself up as well. He's standing on the high ground looking over this tier 1 mid, and no one's really in the area. Lion and Puppy deciding that jungling is a team building exercise. Timbersaw starting to work towards his Bloodstone. He's got the arcane boots as well as the point boots, so he'll disassemble those and pick that up, towards the 22 minute mark, I would think. Now Kuroki could find himself in trouble. I think Trixie would have seen him just then, I'm not entirely sure. Now he's going up to the high ground. Maybe he senses something is up. He's looking around, and he could be in danger.
Dendi wants to go as well. He's running up to this Weaver. He wants a piece.
You want to taste. Oh, what to watch, what to watch. Alright, Kuroki, you're gonna feed, I believe in you.
Wow, shots fired.
Yep, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. Trixie, he's got patience. He's watching and waiting, and when someone shows their face, he is going to obliterate them. Dendi too, though. He's got his Invis rune just right now. Haste rune now spawning up bottom, but looks like Lich is going to spot that out. And Fly managing to kill off a skeleton warrior before he could deny it. It's for little things, you know. For little things. Dendi with this haste rune. Oh, sorry, Dendi didn't get the haste rune. No-Tail with this haste rune. Won't be able to do as much as I was about to say Dendi could. What a shame. Timbersaw, Fnatic could now be in a little bit of trouble. He is exceptionally tanky with that maxed out Timber Chain, giving him range as well as damage. 2 levels in reactive armor, but it looks like Clockwork might be looking to get in on this. Trixie needs to have an impact. He lost his lane very badly, and he needs to get something done.
Yeah, he's really underfarmed though. He doesn't have a lot, and there are a lot of defensive spells on Na'Vi, so he doesn't have a lot of attractive targets either. There are different ways of getting out of cogs. We've got a Chen who can heal anyone up. I think he's...
Or send him home.
Or send him home. It's a tough situation for Clockwork here. It's not the best hero in this scenario. Na'Vi drafting well against it, and he's going to have trouble having the big Clockwork impact that we've seen from Trixie and other players in the past. It's just not the right hero matchups for him.
Yeah. We see Era has slightly fallen off so far as farm is concerned, allowing her boss to pick up the lead. Now Weaver could be in a little bit of trouble here. Smoke coming up, Dendi's going to reveal it, he's going to zip Zob in, he's not actually going to get in range, and instead it's a relocate ganking coming from Fnatic, Era and No-Tail, but Era and No-Tail both going to fall. Chain Frost is going to come sooner rather than later. Funnick and Dendi standing next to each other, Dendi managing to get out of there. Honey, he's going to try and pick off Funnick in the meantime, and it looks like he will be able to. Dendi still in there, perhaps still believing that he can do something here, but he needs to be desperately careful. Meanwhile, tactical feed, they're just creating space. Havost and Puppy able to take tier 1, and they're going to be able to take tier 2 pretty quickly unless they come up against some resistance soon.
It wasn't even a tactical feed, it was a 2-for-2 trade with only 3 heroes of Na'Vi in that fight. They're probably going to end up getting 2 towers. Nope, Fnatic going to try and defend this tower. They just need to be a little careful.
Oh, they saw Havost, they know where he went. Looks like they're not interested in him, though. He's just going to rage TP, and for some reason, Puppy is the target they want. Honey chasing deep after him. Troll trap still available. And Puppy, use your micro. Time-lapse used. That's a pretty weak time-lapse use in the end, so far as Honey is concerned. Also interested to see he's building exceptionally tanky, but meanwhile Trixie getting caught way out of position. Not sure how that happened, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know what he did there, but obviously not the right thing.
Yes, he did a
we were
thing.
doing this damned no boots build, which is really... skip brown boots, please.
People,
please.
Brown boots. Please. Liz brown boots.
Or, you know, treads. But
also acceptable. But, you know, I think there could be some problems for Fnatic. It's Dendi with a surprise inside. Surprise! Rage up from her boss. She's going to tank through that avalanche with no damage done. And they're going to take back tower as well.
Yeah, Na'Vi just dominating the map here. There's no one on the Fnatic side farming right now. They're all back here trying to defend, but it's just not happening.
Yep. Era on the... Jeez, the net worth is so close to glitching around. Era is just struggling so much so far as farm is concerned. He's really stagnated after a pretty good start with his mid-duel lane. Getting 2 kills on the Storm Spirit. That lead has been eroded and then some, with Dendi taking out now a 1k net worth lead over him. And they're going to steal an Ancient stack, and that's going to do so much more economic damage than had already been done by the dominance of Na'Vi already taking out a 2-tower lead.
Yeah, it's a rough game for Fnatic here. I think they're just going to really struggle to get back into it. Na'Vi have such strong team fight, strong heroes. It's sort of a 6.78 lineup, but played in a more contemporary sort of style, and it's just Fnatic can't deal with it, and their slightly weird lineup with less team fight. I think this draft is just really better getting punished. I think Puppy outdrafted them. They're just struggling to do anything with it. Henny's going to try and split push a little bit, but they've got no towers down, they've got no real team fight. They haven't won the early game. It's just Fnatic looking awful low on trumps that they could use to win the game here.
Yeah. Na'Vi will burn a fortify, trying to defend both the top and bottom tower. Clockwork has finally put some points into that rocket flare. Interesting to see his leveling up cogs too, and then rocket flare to 2. Do you have any? Is there some meta knowledge I'm missing here?
Well, I think he leveled cogs to 2 very quickly. I think he just wanted that for a bit of extra laning power with the extra mana and HP drain.
Okay.
But after that, the sort of general mid-game use for Rocket Flare is more powerful. So
then he's got a haster in, but spot out Honey. This is going to be a big bloody engagement. Avalanche falling first. Now the defensive cogs. They don't want to take this fight, but Dendi hops in anyway. He's going to get exploded. What was he thinking of? Meanwhile, Trixie falls. He was always going to be the first to fall. So both joins the fight. He's slapping down No Tail. Now the Chain Frost rolling through the fight. Era going to be in some trouble. All are healed. Kind of got popped off. Fnatic managing to break the chain of Chain Frost. And now Havos chasing even harder. Oh, he's gonna get him. He's gonna get him. Uses him best damage. Still hasn't gotten him. Still hasn't gotten him. And finally manages to pick up a tiny. But in the meantime, Honey is wreaking havoc in the rest of the Na'Vi lineup. He's gonna take a fall though. He's out of time. Just manages to Shikuchi out of there. And Timbersaw out of mana, unable to follow up.
Yep, Henny being rewarded there for finally actually buying boots. I'm glad to see that.
Ice Frog is smiling on him from on high.
That was a good fight there for Na'Vi, and I just noticed Kuroki maxing mana drain.
Relocate gang coming in on her boss now. And he rages up, he uses open wounds, he's going to try and slap down No Tail, he's going to get it done! Oh my goodness! Now he's got to armor toggle, he's got to use some kind of mad, crazy good skills to get out of this one. And it looks like he'll be able to. Honey unable to dive on this. What a reaction from the first, what a play.
Yeah, that was really nicely played by Havost, making the exact right decisions, and Puppy's creeps there also doing work. Yep. And that's a relocate burned for negative impact. It's just looking so tough for Fnatic right now. They've played a nice game, but I think they're starting to become on their last legs.
Yep. Just going to check out our gold graph at this time. It is up to a 10,000 gold lead for Na'Vi. It's not catastrophic, but it's pretty double blossom good. And experience somewhere around the 5 grand deficit. Fnatic taking a little bit of Shikuchi damage from Honey, but I mean, I'm struggling to see an avenue back for Fnatic. They've let Havost get big. Dendi is now beating Era, who should be beating him because of how that lane went early on. Fnatic still big. Look at how rich Puppy is. He's got Mech, Gem, Arcane Boots. He's got everything you might want. And what's the comeback mechanism for Fnatic?
I think they're going to have to rely on just their 2 carries. The Tiny and Weaver, both legitimate hard carries. I think they're going to have to try and drag the game out a bit. Maybe do a bit of split pushing as Na'Vi try and take their towers. They're going to need to take the game a bit late and just hope, I guess.
Kuroki blinking in onto Honey. They have vision of him with that gem. A relocate coming now from Era as well as No Tail. They're going to net up Era. Stun coming out from the Central Conqueror. Puppy trying to slap him down. Toss back the Central Conqueror. TP reaction coming in from Trixie. Looking for a hook. No, just a defensive poke. They're going to escape with only 1 loss. Meanwhile, Wiz got exploded by No Tail. They must have known where the relocate was coming back to and just shut down by Havost and Fnatic.
Yeah, it's that's not good. They're going to lose a tower for that. They've lost 2 heroes. Na'Vi just really the power of their team. They've got Bloodstone up on Timbersaw. They've got I think Dendi is pretty close to a Hex. I think that's what he's going to go for first there. Lifesteal is nice and farmed. It's just really, really tough for Na'Vi. They've picked the same sort of slightly greedy jungling lineup that they love to pick. They've won the early game and they're just dominating through the mid game with this nice set of heroes. And
Era
Fnatic don't
needs to
have
be
this
careful
one.
here. There's a blink on Kuroki. They must have seen him. Dendi zipping in a long way. Blink from Kuroki. Gets the hex onto him. Now an electric vortex. Havos slapping him down. Goodbye, Mr. Bond. And he will take a fall. Havos picking up the last hit on that one. And I think that was just a desperation move for Era. He needs some kind of... He needs some currency. He needed to pick up some resources and just doesn't have anywhere to do it on his side of a map. He can't find the farm anywhere, so in desperation he looked to the other jungle and he was punished for it, and that's going to allow Havos and Puppy to take down Roshan. Comes on it. Trixie getting picked off again.
He was, he had no chance really. The level 2 Finger of Death up on Lion, and wow. Fnatic calling it. They don't see a path back either, and before any Rax is down, Fnatic concede defeat.
I noticed yesterday pulling the GG's out real early. Certainly earlier than I would have, and personally earlier than I would have expected from a professional team. But I think it was just they didn't win mid as much as they should have. They lost top, and they got... Trixie just got destroyed bottom by Funny's Timbersaw. When you lane that badly with an early game lineup, I think it was always going to be really difficult for Fnatic, and they tap out. Hopefully live to fight another day.
Yeah, Trixie had a rough game there. I feel for the guy, because he is a very good player, but not his game. And, well, it was a good attempt from Fnatic with some interesting picks, but I think Navi's sort of more standard lineup is proving stronger.
Yeah, 191 gold per minute at the end for Clockwork. That's not good. Yeah, well, thank you very much, Zugz.
Thank you very much.
Alright, this has been Dr. Mittens and Zugz casting